going to talk about tophobia.
Ptophobia?
It's the fear of toes.
Oh, yeah, toes can be a little scary.
It's spelled Ptophobia, and it was identified by a physical therapist back in the 1980s.
Wow.
Named Bhala, Bhala.
Okay.
And he realized that people have this fear of falling. Now, back in the 80s, it was such a unique concept.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are tons of articles on it, because no matter how good a therapist you are, if your patient has a fear of falling, you might not get them better. Right? So you got to deal with that fear of falling. The people most likely to have fear of falling are people who live alone, people over the age of 80, people who are less active, and people who don't have really good social support. So, so recognizing it, if people say things like, I'm fearful, there are tests. You can go online. There's the ABC, the Activity Balance Specific Confidence Scale. There's fear of falling scales. So if you think somebody is and you want to test it, you can use those. They're online. But once you identify that, you really need to work on something to get them less fearful of falling. So take it away, Dana.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is you have to put people in the situation that makes them uncomfortable. Because if it's something you're scared of, you're not going to want to do it.
Right.
So you can't just throw yourself or somebody into the most challenging situation that provokes the most fear. You have to build up to that. So, ask people or think about it yourself. Really, what situation are you scared of? Where do you have that fear of falling? Maybe walking on ice, something really extreme.
Which I do. I
have too. Yeah. I mean, you see people fall all the time of all ages.
But that wouldn't be fear, because that's an extreme
That's
situation.
Extreme.
And
right.
you can avoid that.
So something more common though, like walking on uneven surfaces outside, walking on a sidewalk, something like that. And then if somebody has that fear, they're not going to get out, and maybe they're avoiding doing things they would actually want to do. So think about ways you can break that down and simulate that environment in a safe setting. So at home, throw some objects down on the ground, make the surface uneven. You can walk over those. Start practicing walking over things that are not solid, not a smooth surface, and just practice walking over those. You can do it on carpet, you can do it in your home, you can put little things down on the ground, and just make yourself get into that uncomfortable situation, but make it safe. So you gain the confidence, or coach somebody along to gain the confidence in those situations. You can even use a cane if you need to start, or do it in a hallway where you can hold on to the wall as you're walking. As that gets easy, you take it up a notch. Maybe you go outside with somebody holding on to you or holding your hand, or taking a cane outside, or walking poles. And then as that gets a little more comfortable, you take those supportive devices away. And then maybe you just go out on your own for a short distance and start building your tolerance in those situations that make you a little bit uncomfortable. But sometimes you want to balance the physical capability with also the fear. So sometimes people are very physically able to do these things, but the fear keeps them out of that situation. So, you want to make sure that you're addressing both components. And then with that, obviously, you want to work your strength components that help with balance, and the balance exercises that we have other videos on. So incorporate those as well, but don't forget that component of fear.
Yeah. And then the thing is, you got to make yourself do it.
Yeah.
In these studies, they did it 1 hour, but only once a week.
Okay.
And that's the thing, making yourself do something for a pretty decent period of time. They did it for 8 weeks and they got great results.
Yeah,
so making yourself do it will make a difference.
You have to do it, yes.